guys, and welcome back to our channel. We are so excited for today's video because we can finally say that I got my green card and we are going back to South Africa. Wow, it feels so weird to say that.
Can't even get excited.
Yeah, it doesn't feel real.
Jinx, you owe me a juice because I don't like soda.
Because for such a long time we couldn't go back to South Africa. For those of you that don't know and are new to our channel, Preston is an American and I am a South African. And last year, October, we applied for a green card. And throughout that whole process, you cannot leave the country.
Nope.
So I haven't been back in my country in over a year now, and man, there has been some hard times. It's been really difficult at times, but we'll get back into what we've learned through the whole process a bit later. Right now, we just want to first of all tell you guys we're going back to South Africa, so we might
see us.
Yes, we will be in Cape Town from August. Well, we're flying out August 15th, so we'll be there August 16th and
September 8th.
Yes.
It's about 3 weeks.
So if you live in Cape Town, be sure to be on the lookout for us. We're going to be all over and doing all of the touristy
The waterfront, oh my
Bloberg,
gosh.
and we're just going to be everywhere and doing everything. So if you see us, come say hi. We would love to meet you guys. So in this video, we also just wanted to share with you guys a little bit more about how our process went and how long it took us. So do you want to explain that?
Am I the explainer?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we're just going to give you guys a timeline because we've gotten so many questions about how long did it take, when did you get this step done, what was this step, what was that step. So like Monique said, we applied for the green card back in October 2018. And they received our case on November 4th, and as you can see, the gaps get bigger and bigger. We got approved for an interview on December 27th, and kind of the cool thing about that was Monique's parents came like, what, 2 days after that, huh? It was like right after it, so we were able to share that amazing news with them when they landed in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And already, we're just so thankful, you know, to God. That's the only thing that has kept us through this whole process of not wanting to bang our heads against a wall. Because really, truly, you don't know when you're going to hear back. You can't just call them and be like, hey, how's it going? How's the process?
Everyone's case is different. We know people that it took them like 2.5 years to get it, and then there's other people that it took them 4 months.
Yeah.
So you really don't know what's going on, and even like our friends that shared with us their timeline, like that helped us so much to just see like when we may get it and stuff.
But then so we were approved for an interview on December 27th, and then our interview wasn't scheduled until June 5th. So that's like 6 months of constant waiting, never knowing when an interview is gonna come. And we knew, per the timeline that they give you on the internet, that it was supposed to be coming soon, but it was hard, you guys. It was really hard. Maybe a couple days after that, we got a letter in the mail that our interview was now scheduled for July 11th. And then the interview was complete on July 11th. And then the green card was approved July 19th. And then green card arrived July 26th. So I tell Monique we should, you know, truly be thankful. Even though for us it felt like years and years, and there was plenty nights where really truly we sat and would cry and just, you're so frustrated because you don't know what's happening, especially between the December and June month. That just, you're literally, you try to, and you feel to become hopeless, and you're starting to lose hope, and it's just, you want it to come and come and come, and you're praying and believing, and it just feels like nothing's happening because it's taking so long.
But still, like, we have to be grateful because the entire process took us about 8 months, and that is a good time. Like when even before, they told us it can take like between, they'd say 7 months and 24 months, which is a really big gap. So we are thankful that nothing really went wrong. There was, in the very beginning, they did ask for more evidence of Preston to just explain a little bit more, but it wasn't like
drastic.
It wasn't major. We just sent in more evidence and they took it, and it was good. yeah, so we're just really thankful that the process went well. It was definitely difficult. I would say definitely in the beginning when we were trying to get the papers together, because we didn't use a lawyer. Yeah, because that would have been an extra
$4,000.
Yes, on top of.
So we were like, and it was when we moved and lived in Baton Rouge for like a couple months, and we didn't have a stable way of life. I guess you could say.
Crazy.
You know, everything was all over the place, and we were trying to do all this paperwork ourselves. There were so many times where we crinkled it up, threw it away, did another one.
And just to understand the terminology and like there's so many different terminologies.
Because you don't have that lawyer that you could just go to for a lawyer. We found out that you literally just fill out like a basic information chart, and they take that information and fill in everything for you. But I know there was over like 200 and something pages. I mean, you guys know, some of you have told us that you're doing it. And then you got to get pictures together, which wasn't a problem for us. I mean, we have thousands of photos, wedding stuff, I mean, bills and different things. And we didn't have that much because we're, staying with my parents for now, trying to save for our own place. So, we really didn't have a constant rent and all that. But it's nothing, you guys, but by the grace of God that this has come this quick for us. And looking back over the past year, yes, we had our times where we literally were just like, we want to give up. This is so frustrating. And like I said, you're just left, waiting on a notification on your phone or the website. You're not kept up to date or, oh, it's at this stop. But I can remember times where me and Monique, would pray and declare, and actually a testimony for you guys that at our Lighthouse fellowship, I was speaking one night, and I don't know what I was speaking. Oh, it was called The Battle's Not Yours. And so that's what we want to encourage you today, that this battle, if you're going through this green card process and immigration process, the battle is not yours. You can't get frustrated and try to take control, but if take anything from us today is to completely give it to God. And that's what we did. And we don't want to sound fancy and just give it to God, because we know we've walked through it. It's not easy. But literally, I was speaking one night at the service, and I was just, boasting on God and, declaring that night that, it's not a man that decides your destiny. It's not a man that decides your decision. I don't care what anyone says about, yes, we live by the laws of this earth, but we believe in our supernatural God that can do anything in the split of a moment. And that night I was just telling everybody that, this battle has been really tough going through with the green card and everything. But I even said it that night. I was like, I declare that we will receive an answer, and that we won't be thrown to the bottom of the pile, and that God is going to put our application at the top, and we will get an answer soon in Jesus' name. And literally, you guys, the next day I got home from work, and I was just like, I was like, let me just check this, our case status. And the next day, can I get a witness that it updated and said, your case has been approved for an interview. And then that's when things just shot off. And it's just to testify on God's goodness over our lives. And yes, He knows there was times where we wanted to give up, and we were tired, and we were weary. But, guys, I want to encourage you, and we want to encourage you together. If you're going through this process or anything in life that, takes just really faith, it has to be faith.
And you don't understand why you have to wait so long, or why God is putting you through it. Like, God has a plan for each and every one of you. And when we're saying, like, just give it to God, we don't say like everything's just gonna be perfect and you're not gonna have any problems, because we know Christians that have been waiting for 2 years for their green card, and like they didn't understand, why is this happening? Like, God, why is this happening? But even they testified after 2.5 years that, wow, look at what they've learned through this process. And we can also say, like, we have learned so much about each other, and we learned how to depend on each other and on God when we don't understand what's going on. We don't understand what tomorrow might hold. But like the most amazing thing is that when you give it to God, you have that hope and that faith to know that
peace.
You're not doing this alone.
Yeah.
It is Jesus that is carrying you through it. And at times where I missed my family so much, I was crying. There's nothing that Preston could do or say that could necessarily make me feel better. And I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. But the only thing that I could do is pray and ask Jesus to just give me the strength and help me and encourage me. And I promise you that if I just am disciplined and obedient and go into prayer in that moment instead of just giving myself a pity party, then Jesus touches me in that moment and he gives me the strength. He encourages me to just keep on going and to trust that he has a plan for my life and he has a plan through all of this. And I remember even sharing at the lighthouse the very first time that God had to take me away from everything that I was familiar with, everything that I knew my entire life, to be more dependent on him. And that is the biggest thing that I've learned through this entire process, that when I'm going through something that I don't understand or that it's very uncertain, you don't know when the process is going to end, I can only depend on God. And that is exactly why it needed to happen, because my faith has grown so much to know that I'm not in control of my own life. I'm not in control of my destiny, but Jesus has a plan through it all. And another thing that I would say is so amazing is how God used our process and our journey to help and encourage other people, because we have received so many messages, and we still receive messages of people saying, man, I am a South African, I just applied for a green card, and I'm not gonna lie, it's really difficult. I miss my country. I want to go back, and I don't know when it's gonna end. And then God can use us to encourage those people, and even just you guys telling us, man, I'm going through the same thing. That encouraged us to know that we aren't alone, and there is other people that understand what we are going through. So, I mean, yes, it was a hard process, but we grew a lot. We learned a lot, and I'm so thankful for how God has used it to just mold us and give us a testimony to be able to help other people.
Right. And that's also, we won't want this video to go on for 35 minutes, but it's so true, you guys. Like, just yesterday, or not yesterday, August 3rd was my 23rd birthday. And I just was like doing some reflecting and looking back over the year of my year of 22 years on earth. And I just was looking at everything we went through this past year, and you know, family members died in my family this year. I found out information about my dad's passing that really threw me off, and just different things were coming in our direction on top of the green card and Monique's dad's health, and it's just like you're stuck and you can't do anything. But in those moments that, like Monique was saying, that God is trying to shape and build your character and your patience, your endurance, your faith. And we don't understand why, because we want to be like, okay, God, like, why don't you want me to have this? And that's what our flesh wants to say. But God wants everything good and perfect for you, because he loves you. But he also causes us to grow and wants us to expand, so that it's not just something you walk through alone, but other people that are going through it can be impacted and changed by it. And yeah, you could take it and say, well, I don't believe this mushy Christian mess and all this, it just sounds good. But it's honestly the truth that if we didn't have God through this process, we would have fluked out, if that's even a word. We would have just gave up. But there was nights where we literally just had to go into our prayer room and cry before God. And I don't have the words to say. I've gone through what she's gone through, and luckily I was able to come home a couple times when I lived in South Africa for a couple years. But I know the pain and truly the loneliness and things that you have to go through. But I've seen even Monique grow so much over this past year and a half, become, you know, a woman and a wife, and grow different character. And I can look back and I tell her, I know, man, it's tough, but I've been there, and you're gonna make it. You're gonna make it. And that's what we want to tell you guys today, that you're going to make it. Whatever you're facing, if it's not an immigration, green card packet, you know, application, whatever it is, you are going to make it. Just stay steadfast and allow God to do the work. And there's something that you can't take, well, you can take it, it's okay. But something through this whole process that I would look and tell Monique is I would always tell her God will be God.
Yes.
That He is unchanging, He's never failing, He's always the same. And it doesn't matter what a man says or what anyone can do, that when God opens the door for you, no man can close it. And that's what I kept telling Monique. If it's God's will for us to be in America and accomplish what He wants us to accomplish, and we know we heard God to come here, then no man could close that door. And it's the same for your life. Whether it's for a job, whether it's a relationship you're praying about, whether it's a green card application, if it is God's will, no man can stop it. Nothing, no earthly law, nothing. Why? Because our God, the creator of the universe, controls everything, to the very little bitty things such as a green card application to Him. And we've seen it happen in our own lives, that God supernaturally sped up the process. And I mean, just when you declare and believe it, just say God will be God in your situation no matter what.
Yes.
And sure, some of you may think this is cliche and sound funny, but we really don't care, because this is our lifestyle. And a lot of people just want to be like, oh, we pray and we believe God to do it, and He does, and we made it through. But no, we're here and to give you how vulnerable we want to be with you, that we wouldn't have made it if it wasn't for God. That we went through the fire, we went through the test and the trying times, but always, every single day when we woke up, God was constant, ever loving, ever merciful, and there to walk through it with us. And that's just what Monique said, that just because we serve God and we're Christians, we're not just promised a field of lilies and roses and beautiful rainbows every single day. But there is a promise that He said that I will never leave you nor forsake you. That, you know, we still do live by this earthly realm and the world and the laws that we have to go through. And we do have to go through life, and we do have to go through challenges. But there's one thing that He said to be sure of, that He'll give us peace in those times. He'll give us strength in those times. And He'll always be there to meet and talk with you. But you've got to be willing to go and just give it to Him. And just know that God will be God. He's unchanging. So we're super excited. It still seems completely unreal that we're going back to Cape Town. There's a lot of different emotions for me there, and especially for Monique. It's our home country, but it's where I left my family and went and lived for 2 years to work with a church there and serve in the community. So my heart is for the people there, and I love the scenery and Table Mountain and waterfront and all those different things. But for me to get back inside the rural communities and the people that are less fortunate, it's where my heart burns. And we're so excited to see our church family, Monique's family, and just be with her parents. And oh my word, and eat all the lekker, baya lekker kos.
Yeah, we are so excited. We're going to be eating just everything. Boerewors, biltong, boerewors, everything.
Whatever she said.
And the good coffee.
Biltong and good coffee, oh my word. Lekker pannenkoek.
Oh yes. So all that said, we hope that encouraged you guys, and to just help you guys to keep going and stay strong in this. It's not an easy process, but you will make it. But yeah, we are so excited to be going back to South Africa.
Hit us up if you're in the area.
This Thursday. Still have a lot of packing to do and everything, but we're ready for 3 weeks of just relaxing and enjoying our country. So be on the lookout for a lot of South Africa vlogs. We are going to be vlogging almost everything that we do. So the next vlog that you guys will see is probably going to be our travel vlog and me seeing my parents for the first time.
10 months.
It feels like way longer, but yeah, I haven't seen them in a good while. And
Bookie,
my dog.
Her little Doberman, Pinscherman, whatever his name.
Miniature Doberman.
Oh, I don't know what it is.
So yes,
Bookie.
Please remember to subscribe to our channel so you can see all of our fun adventures in Cape Town. And yeah, we hope we get to meet some of you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching today. We really appreciate the continuous support from you guys. And remember,
love God,
love people,
and love coffee.